Hello and welcome to a review of a movie. It's not the Epic Film Challenge, it's not part of a series, but we watched the film recently and I thought it would be fun to talk about it. It is the 1988 film. I was scanning the back of the Blu-ray, it's like, copyright 2002, packaging 2018. So I'm fairly sure it's 1988. So it was, exclusive 30th anniversary edition. It is from Arrow Video, Heathers.
It's not in the book or anything. Why are you reviewing it?
It's a film we watched and I enjoyed it quite a bit and I thought it would be fun to talk about it. I think you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Enjoyable. So this film...
That's about it.
Heathers, I had seen a snippet of on TV when I was a kid. And it was the scene in the high school canteen when Christian Slater pulls out a gun and just shoots these two kids. And I thought, holy shit, what is this film? Like, I thought that he'd killed them. Obviously, it turns out when you watch the film, he hadn't. But
the blanks. Yeah,
and I just, I don't think I continued watching, but I'd always had this image in my head of it being a really extreme film. Not really extreme, but quite a...
It's not that friendly either, though.
No, not that friendly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not innocent.
No. What's the rating on this? 15. It's contains strong language, drug use, sex references, and suicide theme. So this is like
It's a very suicidal theme. Yes.
I haven't seen Mean Girls, but it seems to me like something that is in the vein of that. You have a group.
They're not that mean.
No. You have a group of girls in high school, all called Heather. Although Winona Ryder is Veronica, so she's not a Heather, but she's a member of the Heathers gang. And so
she's not called Heather.
No, we have Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. Winona Ryder is great. I love her in most things I see her in. I think she's a really good actress. And Christian Slater is a guy who I've seen in so many things and have never really been impressed by. Not to the point where I think he's a bad actor, but I've never been impressed by him. There's just a really... Connie heard a sound. Anyway, moving on. Christian Slater. Yeah, there's something about him that just I don't know.
I don't like him.
I don't dislike him, but it's just something a little
dislikable.
Not even that. There's just something a little bit. I can't place him. It's like
he's so sleazy.
Kind of.
And I don't feel like he would fit any other role but being sleazy because he's got that look about his face.
Maybe.
And the way he squints his eyes and he's very...
There's just something, I don't want to say off about him, but there's something middle. I don't know. There's Christian Slater. He's Christian Slater.
He looks like he would manipulate people in his life.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to cast kind of.
It's like, honey, I didn't take the bins out because I know you like doing it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
That kind of
well,
guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. Maybe, perhaps. Who knows? Who can say?
I feel so mean now.
Yeah. So. The film follows this Heathers group, and one of them gets killed through a very darkly humorous situation. And this is where you really need to be, because for me, when I watch a film and it deals with like murder or something, and it deals with it flippantly, it depends. If it's like Rambo, I mean, you don't really care too much. But if it's a film that presents itself where the characters mean something, and there's there's stakes, and then murder is just thrown away. Like what's that one, the Michael Bay film, Pain and Gain with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg.
I never finished that one.
Where, it's about a real life murder and you see, or at least a murder happens in the film, I forget, and then it's kind of treated as a comedy, and I just thought that was really in poor taste. So I get kind of a little bit snooty about that. But here, it's just a film where it doesn't really matter. Like, you're not really taking it too seriously, especially when the suicide theme kicks in. So... Basically, we'll just talk about it. Veronica, Winona Ryder, she, I guess, is manipulated by Christian Slater into poisoning one of the Heathers just to make her sick. No, is it to make her sick? Or is it to... No, she doesn't want to kill her, but he kind of puts too much in, basically, and I think he wanted to do it.
No, he swapped them. He
swapped them, okay, yeah.
You're not supposed to be drinking that kind of liquid at all.
Right.
But she wanted her to throw up and feel really
just
sick.
Get sick, so she wasn't too...
Because she didn't like her, but she didn't want to kill her. But that was the idea first, but I think she was thinking it jokingly or something.
Yeah, exactly,
it's like, oh yeah, we're going to kill her.
So
we're going to do this.
So he keeps taking it one step further, and he brings Veronica into this world of crime and murder and all this kind of stuff. But what happens is they realize they've killed this girl, So they decide to make it and stage it as a suicide. And what this does is makes this Heather character even more popular. She becomes a martyr in school, to the point where like even there's a teacher in school who is like advocating for teenage suicide. She's like, it should be a teenager's choice, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. You got all these things going on, and it's quite an interesting commentary on, looking 30 years later, like the social media trends. Again, it's not completely a complete comparison, but if you look at stuff like what was it, like is it the toaster challenge or something? Was there something where people were like putting their hands in toasters or something, or microwaves or something? There was like a thing going around, and
you can't put your hand in a microwave.
Yeah, true. But no, there was something. Oh no, putting a knife in a toaster, and they're like, man up, and there's like a guy putting a knife into a toaster and gets electrocuted. Like
I've never heard about that.
The kind of dumb,
I heard about
stupid
the cinnamon challenge.
Teenage shit that happens with social media, where people just like egging each other on to do these stupid
the
things.
Challenge that killed loads of people. They did though.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, because they did them on like rails and shit. And
I don't know.
Fell off cliffs.
But regardless,
the plank challenge.
I could see echoes of like the satire in Heathers in today's society. Obviously not as extreme, but just it's taken it to an extreme to make a point. The idea that suicide would become this popular thing, where like people start to want to commit suicide, and and I really thought the film was really funny, actually.
Yeah, it was. Nice.
One of my favorite parts was probably when Veronica says to her parents, like, "Okay, well, thanks for the lunch or whatever. I got to go and get down to school or whatever." And then like the murder happens, and then we see the same scene again. She's like, "Okay, thanks for lunch. I got to go get down to the funeral." Like just completely same tone. It's just popping up for the day.
I'm just gonna go to the funeral.
Back later. So I love the kind of flippant kind of humor in the film, and the feeling you can only get with an 80s movie. These days a lot of 80s nostalgia is permeating modern films, modern TV. Look at something like Stranger Things, which is very good and very enjoyable, but it never truly feels like the 80s. There's just something about it, just the way it looks, the way it sounds, the fact that the people who have those hairstyles have them because that's of the time, and just knowing that was made in the 80s, there's just a different feel to it. And so I really enjoyed it, actually. And I know a lot of people, it's a kind of a cult film. Some people have it as their favorite film of all time kind of thing. I can see where people would enjoy it that much if they grew up with it.
I guess.
For me, I haven't. So it's a bit different. But I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And would definitely watch it again, I think. Anything you don't want to kind of...
I feel like it could be within every 5 or 10 years.
Okay,
really.
That's fair enough. Yeah, no, I could kind of go into that, actually. Yeah, maybe. But it's... And I've just started reading Ready Player One, and it kind of pleased me because I just finished watching this film. I started the book, and at the beginning, there's like a scene that takes place inside the one of the scenes from Heathers, which is kind of funny. So,
really?
So I wouldn't have understood the reference.
Just in the book?
Yeah, in the book, not in the movie.
Cool.
I guess it would have been difficult in the movie because it says that there are like exact replicas of Winona Ryder and Christian Slater inside the simulation, as seen in the movie. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can really talk about. I really thought it was a funny, biting film. It had a real kind of edge to it in terms of that satire that they were going for, with the way that kids kind of will go along with anything other kids are doing. And perhaps more darkly, where Veronica gets sucked into this murderous scheme with Christian Slater's character, who I can't remember the name of for the life of me. So, yeah, Heathers. It's a good time. I really enjoyed it.
What was her name in it?
Veronica.
Oh, you did say.
But I read that off the back of the cover. I would not have remembered that for the life of me. We watched it a couple of weeks ago. What, are you checking that? Double checking? Fact checking? JD. Okay. I that doesn't even make me think, oh yeah, of course. No, I just completely blank. So, and it's a good cast. Like the actresses who play the Heathers are really good. What's that woman's name? Shannon Doherty? She's in Charmed. She played one of the Heathers.
I didn't even get that.
And her character was interesting. The way she kind of rose to the kind of the prime Heather, I suppose, because the other one had gone. And so literally there's like this power struggle within the group, and the symbolism of that red headband, is it? Yeah, there was some kind of red like hairband that kind of signified you were like the top Heather or something like that. And it was like this kind of symbol of leadership. Yeah. All right, so there we go. Heathers, pretty enjoyable. That's it. Just a simple review. of a film we watched and enjoyed, and that's it. Is it a film you should see before you die, though?
It's not in the book. I don't have to answer.
I would say no, so there you go.
No.
No.
It doesn't have to be in the book. But
No, it doesn't have to be.
It could replace quite a few other movies in the book, I think.
I would agree. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Anyway, enough for now. Thanks for
Don't
watching.
start that one.
No. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Ta-ta and
Ta-ta and farewell. Gentlemen.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you. 'Cause